Iran's journey in drone development began during the Iran-Iraq War in the 1980s. Out of necessity, Iran started building rudimentary UAVs for surveillance. Among the earliest models was the Mohajer-1, a basic drone used for battlefield observation. But it wasn't until the Mohajer-2 emerged in the 1990s that Iran began to explore wider applications. The Mohajer-2 was a small, fixed-wing surveillance drone capable of real-time video transmission, modest by today's standards but revolutionary for Iran at the time. By the early 2000s, Iran had refined its UAV technology significantly, despite heavy international sanctions. Their drones became smarter, flew farther, and carried more advanced payloads. As Iranian technology advanced, so did its ambitions. Venezuela, under Hugo Chavez and later Nicolas Maduro, began strengthening ties with Iran as both nations found common ground, resisting U.S. influence and sanctions. In 2012, reports began to surface of Venezuelan engineers working with Iranian technicians to assemble Mohajer-2 drones on Venezuelan soil. The facility, known as CAVIM, Venezuela's state-run arms manufacturer, was allegedly producing a local variant called the Arpia. Though based on the Mohajer-2, the Arpia reportedly had some customizations for Venezuelan conditions. It was a surveillance platform, ideal for border patrol, monitoring protests, and even intelligence gathering on internal dissent. While its tactical use was limited, its symbolic value was enormous. Venezuela had joined the club of drone operating nations, with help from Iran. But the real shift came in the late 2010s and early 2020s, with Iran deploying its newer generation drones in conflicts like Syria, Iraq, and later Ukraine via Russian forces. The world took notice of the Mohajer-6, a more advanced drone with both reconnaissance and strike capabilities. Armed with precision-guided munitions, longer range, and day-night operational capabilities, the Mohajer-6 became a game-changer. By 2022, satellite imagery and intelligence reports suggested that Mohajer-6 drones were being supplied or licensed to Venezuela, either directly or via third-party military cooperation. Unlike the older Mohajer-2, the Mohajer-6 could carry bombs, loiter longer, and act as a combat drone, not just a surveillance platform. The export of Mohajer-6 drones to Venezuela raised serious concerns in Washington and among Venezuela's neighbors. Why? Because for the first time, Venezuela possessed a platform that could carry out offensive operations from the air, potentially targeting dissident camps, border areas, or even foreign assets. Iran, meanwhile, had found a growing market for its drone exports, not just in Venezuela but also in Ethiopia, Sudan, and Russia. Its drones were cheap, effective, and politically convenient for governments facing sanctions or Western scrutiny. For Venezuela, the deal wasn't just about military power. It was also about domestic control. Drones became tools of surveillance, intimidation, and tactical superiority in internal conflicts. What comes next? Military analysts believe that the Iran-Venezuela drone cooperation could expand further. Rumors persist of Shahed series drones being evaluated by Venezuelan forces. And if Venezuela becomes a hub for assembling Iranian drones in Latin America, the balance of power in the region could subtly shift. Other countries like Colombia, Brazil, and the US are closely monitoring the situation. Because what began as a small surveillance project with the Mohajer-2 has now become a platform for potential aerial warfare with the Mohajer-6. Iran's drone exports to Venezuela are more than a military partnership. They are a reflection of shifting alliances in a multipolar world where technology, ideology, and power intersect, from the humble Mohajer-2 to the armed Mohajer-6.